As Brianna Harris Henderson, newlywed here as of September 2016. Anyways, this is my story of postpartum cardiomyopathy, which I have been diagnosed with December 27th, 2016. Actually, December 25th, the night after having celebration of Christmas, I got home, me, my husband, and the kids, and I noticed that I had a hard time getting upstairs. I could barely make it. After I got upstairs, it was like I just finished probably a 10-minute race. It was horrible. I had been complaining to my husband about, I'd say about a good week or so, because I just had been feeling like I was just getting so sick. Like it could have been pneumonia, bronchitis. I just felt like it was just like fluid in the lungs, and I could feel it. I was trying to cough so hard, so much. Like every 5-10 minutes, my husband had to actually sleep in a different room because I just couldn't stop coughing. We had a 1-month-old baby girl at the time, so it was very hard to sleep anyway. So it was very easy for me to just stay up all night, even though I could not breathe while trying to lay down. After my husband went to work that morning, on the 26th after Christmas, I had been talking to my dad actually, and he thought it was a bit of a concern that I couldn't breathe trying to go to sleep, and then I had been up all night. So he wanted to take me to the ER, which we did, and by the time we got there, they checked my vital signs and everything. My vital signs showed that my heart rate was racing, my blood pressure was up high, and that my heart was having irregular beating. So by the time they actually gave me an emergency room, they went ahead and hurry up and did a CT scan to figure out what was causing me not to breathe. They took me walking for about a good 5 minutes around the hospital area that I was in, just to see how long it would take for me to run out of breath. I say it took about a good 5 minutes to run out of everything that I had given. After the CT scan came back, they noticed a lot of fluid that was around the lungs, like I had been feeling around the heart area, and it was just so much. They had to hurry up and start a medication called the Lasix. They started the IV, and they put it into my system, and I started quickly using the restroom. I went to the restroom, I say about every 5 to 10 minutes. That was a lot. So by this time, they quickly admitted me into the hospital, and me and my dad had weird faces on our face, like, okay, why am I getting admitted? What is going on? And the doctor came in and had told me that my heart was enlarged. And the last time I heard this information was actually when my sister, who was 27 years old, was diagnosed with postpartum cardiomyopathy about 2 years ago, before my diagnosis. So after a whole day of doing tests and running tests and everything, that next day, December 27th, being in the hospital, they actually sent a echocardiogram to be done for the heart to actually see the functioning on it. After, I say about 5 hours that day, a cardiologist actually came up to speak with me and my family on the results of that echo, and it was not great. My heart was only functioning at a 20%, and 20%, which meaning I could go into cardiac arrest at any given moment. After asking me, a few questions about what happened to my sister, which he saw in my history file that my sister had went through actually the same thing. That's what he told me, that I was diagnosed with the Peripartum Cardiomyopathy, also known as Postpartum Cardiomyopathy, which puts you into cardiac arrest, and if your heart is, not functioning within 10 minutes, that you could die. They quickly had started me on the heart medications that day, the water pill, which made me urinate all the fluid that I could get off my system. They ended up ordering me a life vest that could quickly save my life if I was to go into cardiac arrest. Since my percentage had been so low, they had to go ahead and do that while I was in the hospital. This is my life vest. I have been on this for it's been actually about 2 months now since my diagnosis. And what it does is it shocks the heart and to come back to life if that it noticed any change in the palpitations or if I'm having any irregular beatings. I got out the hospital, I say after 5 days of being in there. I was okay to go home to my family because I had a 1-month-old baby girl and I had a 4-year-old son who really needed my mommy duties. My husband has really been a big help throughout this situation. It's been a rough time for us, but we are getting through it. I recently just did another echo, actually about 2 weeks ago, and it came back that I was 5% better, which was awesome because I was at the 20% and now I'm within the 25 to 30% range, which they really need me to get to about a 30-35 in order to take off the life vest. But until I can get that much, so I say about I need probably 7 to 10% more of my heart functioning. But it can get reversed with the medications and eating right. You have to eat right. You have to, cut off all that extra sodium, the out to eat, McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Red Lobster. All that has to go. You have to actually dedicate yourself. I go to cardio rehab actually 3 times a week. I have to exercise to basically to gain the strength of my heart back. It's actually been helping along with the medication, so that was great news for me and my family. I just want all young women my age and a little older, which is my sister's age. She was only 27 when she lost her life and left 2 beautiful children behind. I want everyone to be aware of this horrible illness that can kill from pregnancy. Even though pregnancy is supposed to be the most happiest time of our lives, it could easily turn into the saddest part of our lives, because I would have never guessed that I would be 3 years later going through exactly what my older sister had just went through, and we could not figure out what the cause was on why she had this horrible heart issue that was not in our family. And after my cardiologist had confirmed that it's not inherited and it's just something rare that just happens to the heart with random women. You can't point fingers on who it might happen to. It's just random. So hopefully I can get my story out and share it with everyone who ever might come across this or know anyone or any friends, sisters, whatever that will go through this. My name is Brianna Harris. I will be following up and doing an update as months to come as I hear. I'm currently out of work right now, so I'm a stay-at-home mom at the moment, so until I can get my strength back. This is Brianna Harris Henderson signing out. Thank you.